Welcome to another 5-minute recap for religious education. We are looking at the exam board Eduqas and we are looking at foundational Catholic theology, the origins and meanings paper, and today we are going to explore other Christian beliefs about creation. The aim of today's session is for you to show that you can understand different Christian beliefs about creation. And I suggest if you haven't already, I would watch the other video in this series, which is to do with Catholic beliefs about creation, because that will help you out. So first of all, before we get into the nitty-gritty, we need to understand that the term Christian is a very broad term. What I mean by that is that there are lots of different types of Christians and they have lots of different beliefs. And it's a little bit like, imagine it like this. At the top there, I've got the phrase Christian. Well, imagine a chocolate bar, and you could break that down into Mars, Twix, or, dairy milk. And if I said to you, is a Twix a dairy milk? You'd say, no, absolutely not. If I said to you, is a dairy milk a Mars? You'd be like, no. But if I said, is a Mars still a chocolate bar? You'd be like, yeah, it is. Well, it's a kind of a similar way to think about Christianity. You've got this big title, Christian, which is a follower of Christ. But within that, there are different types of Christians. And these different types of Christians will have different beliefs. And that's important to understand and know for your GCSE, because although they share a lot of ideas, they also have disagreements. And in particular, we're going to look at some of these disagreements today about creation. So the first group we're going to explore is Catholics. Now, Catholics, they will look at the Bible to find out about creation, and they have a metaphorical interpretation. So they look at the Bible and they see that it's not all fact. There are stories in there, but those stories have hidden meanings or hidden teachings. So they help to reveal something about humans, about God, about the world we live in, or about the universe. In contrast, you get creationists. Now, they have a literal interpretation. That means for them, the Bible is the direct word of God, and therefore the Bible does not make mistakes. So if they're reading the Bible, what it actually says is 100% fact, and it is true, and it should not be questioned. Now, as a result, these are going to have some big impacts on what they believe about creation. So firstly, let's look at creationists as a type of Christian. Now, they can also be known as fundamentalists, and they believe that since the Bible is 100% fact, Genesis to the creation story, it will show you that God is the creator because he literally makes things in 7 days. It will say that God did this in 7 days, and when they say day, they mean 7 24-hour days. So that entire universe was made in those 7 24-hour days. The earth, as a result, is very young, and if you look through the Bible, you can actually date the point of creation to about 4004 BC. This means that the earth's only 6,000 years old, very young. God, he created all of the animals in their final form, so he created them exactly as he wanted to, and then he places them on earth. And finally, humans are unique, and no other part of creation is like them. They've been given a special job, they're made in God's image, and they've been put in charge of the earth. But why do creationists believe this? Well, since the Bible is the word of God, they will look at it, and when it uses the word day, it literally means 24 hours. When they look at each of the 7 days of creation, they see that light is made on day 1. They see that the land and vegetation gets made on day 3. Fish and the birds get made on day 5. And finally, land animals and humans are made on day 6. So they will follow it word for word as if it is a history book. And the upshot of it is that the Bible is fact, and that is exactly what happened. In contrast, Catholics, they will see Genesis as more as a metaphor. They don't believe that it's 100% fact, but they do feel that it reveals some important messages. These include God is the creator, God's omnipotent, eternal, and transcendent, and that humans are a special part of creation and they have a special relationship with God. And finally, the earth is a gift to be cared for. So think about all of this then. You should be able to display your knowledge of different Christian beliefs about creation by looking at each of these keywords. If you can take a keyword and write a sentence about it, then you know that you understand it and you know you've been successful in today's session. If you find it a little bit tricky, I'd go back through the video, I'd have a little bit of a think about it, pause, reflect, write some notes. If you want to push yourself even further, then you could even try out a couple of these example questions. Thank you for your time today, and take care.